only have one song, but it's a long storytelling kind of epic song. Most of you won't like it, but that's okay. I had a show and I bombed. I had a show and I bombed. The following morning I called my mom and I said, "Mom, people don't think I'm funny." She said, "Son, that's because you're not funny. And you don't have any money, and you don't have a real job. You're a slob and you're a bum, you're lazy, going crazy. I'm ashamed to call you my son, and I hate you." Then I had a show and I tanked. I had a show and I tanked. I went out for a smoke with my friend Frank, and Frank said, "Hey, there's an opening at my bank, and you should consider it." Frankly, if you don't, I would think that you're an idiot. Because this stuff ain't going nowhere but poverty and despair. And when you're on the street, I won't offer sympathy because you will have deserved it. Ask yourself if these cheap one-liner jokes are worth it, man. Thanks, Frank. Then I had a show and I flopped. I had a show and I flopped. Had this creeping feeling that I should stop pursuing this stupid dream, which does nothing but drop my self-esteem. Because you think I must enjoy this degradation in front of an audience, because otherwise why would I endure public humiliation and then follow that up with a nice long telephone conversation with my mother? Yes, I must be some kind of sick pervert. Then I had a show and I ate shit. I had a show and I ate shit. I decided I finally had enough of it. At home I rummaged through a filing cabinet for my CV, which looked pretty pathetic for someone who's 30. I present myself on paper like a delinquent teenager, but Frank must have some major pull at the bank because somehow he got me an interview. And then Frank said, "You've got this, man." I went in for my interview. Oh, I went in for my interview. It went just like you would expect it to. Just two people imitating what people in interviews would say. And then she hit me with the, "Can you explain this gap on your resume?" And I was offended at the nature of the question. I got the impression that what it really meant was that nothing in your life matters unless it somehow pertains to your status of employment. But I told her I pursued my passions and I took great risks. I tried my hand to make my way as an artist, and I was fully engaged at living in the present moment. And she said, "I suppose that we all have some things that we should work on." She thought that I was telling her my greatest weakness, as though she were my therapist. Like, bitch, I don't even know if I've opened up that much to my actual therapist. And besides, what does a crippling fear of loneliness have to do with my ability to use Microsoft Excel? By some miracle I got the job. By some miracle I got the job. I had a celebratory drink with Frank, and when I told my mother about my new job, she said, "I'm proud of you, my son, and I love you." And then she died. And I spoke of interest rates at home. I had food on my plate. And then 15 years passed and I looked in the mirror and I was some overweight banker person I hated. And I spiraled into a deep, dark, existential crisis depression with suicidal ideation. And when I stopped paying attention to work, they fired me. And I quickly succumbed to drugs and alcohol to numb the feelings inside of me. And I lost all my money and savings. And Frank saw me on the street and he didn't offer me any sympathy. And what was your sympathy supposed to do for me, Frank? And Frank, I know you only got me the job because there was a referral bonus that you used to buy a blender for your morning protein shakes. And Frank, if all it was for you was some way to get protein, you should have just killed me and to show you a tendon, my friend, and eaten me like a cannibal, my friend. You would have saved me a lot of trouble, my friend. But Frank didn't do that. He's way too by the book to do something like that. And And down in the dumps, I saw a light shine from the heavens, and I heard the shrill voice of my mother. She said, "Look at you, my son, you're a failure. You failed even trying to chase the safe life of security. You may as well just have failed at your dream." I may as well just have failed at my dream. And with nothing left, I figured I'd give another shot at comedy. I had anxiety. I had a show and it went well. I had a show and it went well. Everyone seemed to enjoy themselves, and then afterwards I talked to a bunch of people, and there was this really hot woman, and she invited me back to her apartment, and she gave me a blowjob. And she gave me a blowjob. Thank you very much.
First handcuffs and a blowjob. Fully employed.
I can't see anyone else right now.
That's a good one, Trevor Kearney.
Good job. Really love it.